Brains. It's time for round 2 as the eternal battle between Flora and the Undead resumes yet again in Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare 2. The original Garden Warfare was a pleasant surprise when it came out 2 years ago, exhibiting the kind of polished gameplay that many spin-off titles typically don't have. Not only were the shooting mechanics and class selection pretty solid, it was also released at a budget price, which made the focus on multiplayer mayhem and the lack of a campaign mode easier to swallow. Personally, it was one of my most played games that year, and was the one most requested by younger family members during our gaming sessions. For its part, Garden Warfare 2 builds on the excellent formula of the original by adding a ton of features to the base game. At the top of the list is a new central hub that not only serves as a launch point for multiplayer sessions, but a way to dabble in some single-player content for both sides of the war. It's basically laid out with plants based on one side and the zombies on the other, with random skirmishes often breaking out in between. You're encouraged to explore around for collectibles and minigames, and even venture deep into enemy territory to finish quests assigned to you for earning experience. Granted, it's not a dedicated campaign and feels a bit sparse, but it's an improvement over the original game. For the most part, however, it's the multiplayer modes that continue to carry the Garden Warfare experience, which is further enriched by the addition of a bunch of new characters to play with. For plants, you have the offense-minded Colonel Corn, the more technical Mage Rose, and my personal favorite, Citron, a laser-firing tank of an orange who combos well with an allied sunflower. Seriously, just try that combo out with a partner on objective points and let the fun begin. On the Undead side, you have Bruiser Super Brains, the robot suit operating Imp, and the parrot drone wielding Captain Deadbeard. One thing I especially liked is the ability to bring the characters you have unlocked from the previous game through the hub mailbox. Even better is how the mailbox can bring in characters regardless if you played on the Xbox One or Xbox 360. Granted, you have to level them up again, but it still rewards the hard work of loyal fans in the previous game by fleshing out their roster right off the bat. Add the different variations for each class type, and you have tons of characters at your disposal. Also making a return are the classic modes such as Gardens and Graveyards, the Deathmatch-style Team Vanquish, Domination-based Suburbanation, Horde-style Garden Ops, and the sabotaging hijinks of Gnome Bomb. New to the list is Herbal Assault and Graveyard Ops, which reverses the role of plants and zombies in Gardens and Graveyards and Garden Ops. Unlike the previous game, you can also play other modes besides Garden Ops via split-screen local co-op, which is a nice plus for families and players who have actual friends in real life. Production values are also improved in Garden Warfare 2. Little touches such as the plants and zombies mannerisms are entertaining, and the game looks better than its predecessor. The only downside is that all that nice ice candy makes it harder to focus and keep track of enemies amid all the chaos, especially in 24-player matches. Although the breadth of characters is definitely a plus, it also casts a spotlight on a remaining issue carried over from the previous game, which is its grinding nature. Granted, leveling up characters now uses a more streamlined system based on experience instead of some persnickety achievements or actions, but it can still take a long time. Unlocking new characters also requires raising tons of in-game cash to buy the necessary blister packs. There's definitely a time sink element to it that's designed to encourage you to continue playing the game, which is great if you're a kid with lots of free time, but a bit daunting for busier folks or gamers with a huge library or game backlog. The extra features also means this isn't some random budget title anymore, selling at a full price tag for a new game. Overall, I think Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare 2 is a nice improvement over its predecessor's solid foundation, featuring more characters, more modes, and more content. The single-player additions are welcome, though still a bit lacking, and the time commitment required to unlock and level up all your characters can be a bit daunting. The gameplay, however, continues to be addicting and suited for both kids and adults. If you're looking for a fun, family-friendly shooter, Garden Warfare 2 delivers.